Hey friends, this is Mike with another MedRep tip for you about hospital sales. Today we're going to talk about key opinion leader relationship building. Now, this particular video is part of a larger video about hospital sales tips in general, but this is the breakout of just key opinion leader relationship building because it's such an important topic. This tip by itself will help you to consistently achieve your sales goals year after year if you apply it. And that tip is building relationships with KOLs. So for purposes today, let's just give a broad overview. So a KOL is a key opinion leader. So that's somebody who has the ability to influence others. Now, how do you find key opinion leaders within hospitals? Well, you may have heard this saying. It's not my saying. I don't remember where I heard it from. But if you've seen one hospital, what that means is every hospital is different. And so key opinion leaders are going to be different at each hospital. Sometimes it could be a medical director, it could be somebody from C-suite, it could be a chief nursing officer. It kind of depends on your product, right? Whether you have a pharmaceutical drug or an infusion product or a medical device or capital equipment, it's going to obviously be different. But it's not rocket science, right? We don't have to make it more complicated than it needs to be. A key opinion leader is somebody who has the ability to influence others. So most likely that means it's somebody in a position of authority. And if you're just kind of starting out, I would look for the medical director, right? Or the chief nursing officer, or again, somebody who, depending on what your product is going to be able to influence people who are writing your product. So let's just stay with the medical director. The medical director of say a critical care unit. So if the people that write your product, prescribe your product, are going to be the doctors of a critical care unit or the nurse practitioners or whatever it is in your state, then the medical director is going to be the person that's going to influence them. How is he going to influence them? He's probably going to tell them what to do, right? It could be based on protocols, or it could be based on what his own kind of best practices are. So why is it important to partner with them? Well, obviously, if they're going to influence your product inside the hospital, you kind of need to make sure that you're partnering with them so they can include and influence others to write your product. But it kind of goes beyond that. If we start thinking of the big picture, we want to have success year after year. So another thing that your key opinion leader may be interested in, particularly if they're higher up within the hospital system, is research or marketing type relationships. So maybe they're interested in, especially if they're an academic center, building the research arm of their hospital, or if they're a community hospital that's really trying to advance and trying to form a partnership with another academic organization. Maybe they can participate in some way. That can be a great way to bring a key opinion leader into the fold, particularly if they're not allowed for whatever reason to be a speaker aligned with your organization. Or maybe they just don't want to be for whatever reason. Also, don't overlook the opportunity to partner your key opinion leaders with your marketing folks, your home office marketing folks. I've been able to do this with multiple organizations where I've been able to hook key opinion leaders up and develop them over time from a local key opinion leader into regional or national key opinion leaders who've worked within our marketing team to actually change the brand messaging of some of our products. And so there's a real opportunity there, and it's a real win-win. The next thing, of course, is when you're partnering with key opinion leaders, focusing on, we're going to talk about this concept of win-win, which I just mentioned, but we're going to talk about it over time throughout this video. Finding out what your key opinion leader's goals are. And again, if it's somebody higher up in an organization, they're probably very focused on patient outcomes, right? Now, that's obviously very big, especially as we get diminishing returns for reimbursement. Patient outcomes really become critical, particularly when the hospital's on the hook for, if things don't go well with the first time that they try to provide care. So if your product can provide benefits related to patient outcomes, which I hope it would, based on clinical evidence, or it maybe saves the staff time or whatever the case may be, you got to make sure that you communicate those benefits to the key opinion leader and the medical director, obviously, which we'll talk about in a moment, because that can help them to achieve their goals. So again, why would a key opinion leader want to partner with you? Well, there are various reasons why that could be. Key opinion leaders want to partner with you because it can help them from a competitive standpoint. If that hospital that they're a part of is involved in a setting where there are other hospitals around them, if you're in a metropolitan area and there's 2, 3, 4, 5 hospitals, they're all competing with each other. If your product can provide a benefit to the key opinion leader, it's going to help them to stave off competition or build their referral base. That's a win-win right there. You're helping them and they're helping you get more prescriptions. Again, like I said, maybe they want to build their brand in some way, the brand of the organization from a research standpoint or credibility standpoint. Or maybe the key opinion leader, maybe he's a little bit older and he or she likes education, right? They want to be kind of a teacher. They want to teach the next generation. Well, that's a great way for you to be able to partner with them. Maybe they just like they want to build their personal brand. Maybe they're an up-and-comer and they want to build a name for themselves so they can continue to advance. I've had this happen multiple times throughout my career, where I identified an up-and-comer and was able to get them into the fold from a key opinion leader standpoint, helped me build my own achieve my own organizational goals, but also help them achieve their own personal goals to build their personal brand so they can advance through the system as well too. Let's not forget, these people have their careers they're building too. And if you can understand what their goals are and help them achieve them, then you've really done some great work. And I think you should be proud of that. So that's the power of the win-win from a key opinion leader standpoint. And I try to be very transparent with key opinion leaders in that, look, I would love to understand what your goals so I can help you to achieve them where possible, and again, in a compliant manner. And then also, here's what my goals are. I'm trying to grow sales for appropriate patient types in this particular segment. I think it can provide real value to you because of these benefits, yada, yada, yada. Let's work together so we can help each other. That's a key opinion leader relationship that's going to be set up for success. And that is tip number 1.